Okay, so hopefully they'll be able to hear me. So g of f of x, we said, would become g of f of x. We're going to replace the first x with f of x, which is 3x minus 2 square plus 1. And if you expand 3x minus 2 like it's done at the top, you'll get at the end 9x squared minus 12x plus 5. So if someone asks you, find a formula for g of f of x, this is how you do it. Now have a go, try to find a formula for f of g of x and tell me which method would you use, or how would you approach f of g of x? Okay, and I'm going to pause to give you a couple of minutes to go through that. Okay, so for f of g of x, this time what you do is you put 3, and instead of x, this time we've got g of x, and g of x is x squared plus 1. So you replace the x squared plus 1, you replace the x with x squared plus 1, and then you need to expand that the same way we expanded here. So you do 3 times x squared and 3 times 1. And 3 times x squared is 3x squared. Okay. And 3 times 1 is 3. So I've got 3x squared plus 3 minus 2, which is just 3x squared plus 1. Okay. So that's how you would solve this if you're asked to find a formula. So this big h of x that goes straight from x to z at the end, that's its function going that way, or that's the function g of f going that way. Okay, so as you notice, in general, g of f of x will be different than f of g of x. Okay, so it's an inverse way of doing this. So you could quickly check, but we got g of f of 2. We found out that was 17, whereas f of g of 2, when we calculated it, remember, it was 13. So there's a difference in the value, obviously, because the functions are different. Now, we've got a function h of x equal x squared minus 3, and we said that it can be expressed as a composition of a function. Now, find the expression for f of x and g of x. How would you do that? So that's your example 1. What could we use to find h of x? If someone tells me that h of x is g of f of x, what could we use? What could we say g of x is, and what could be f of x be? Okay, so we'll do this example, and then I'll let you go for a wee break while I restart the computer. So, first function, we can say that f of x, for example, could be equal to x squared if we wanted to. Because if that's the case, then g of x just needs to be x minus 3. And in this case, g of f of x will just replace the x here with f of x, will be x squared, and g of f of x is going to be x squared minus 3, which is what they ask us to find. Okay, so that was an example taken with this. So, and you can check it yourself quickly. So g of f of x is g of x squared, and g of x squared is just x squared minus 3. You see, sometimes your teacher saying to you is QED. In Latin, something to do with, this is what we had to demonstrate. Okay. The next example I've got in your notes as well, we've got f of x and g of x. F of x given as fx equal x minus 7, g of x equal 5x. Now, if we are asked to find an expression for h of x, such that h of x is f of g of x, so what is the expression? So you just replace g of x with 5x. So what's f of 5x? Remember, that's what we did in our example. So you take that and you plug it in here. So what's f of 5x? If f of x is x minus 7, f of 5x, you just replace the x with 5x. 5x minus 7, yeah. So g of x is 5x, then replace g of x with 5x, and you get 5x minus 7. Okay. So that was the question for this example, and you can double check it using your notes. The third example, if the function f of x, so I'll let you look at this on your own. I've got g of x equal x plus 2. Okay, so I'm looking for f of g of x. So you replace the x those brackets should have been there. F of x plus 2. And f of x plus 2 is just x plus 2 square. So you can leave it as x plus 2 square. And this is what you were asked to find. Or if you want to expand it, you can write it as x squared plus 4x plus 4. But you can leave it as x plus 2 square. Okay. Usually what I do, if I don't have to do it in math, don't do it. Because what happens if you make a mistake? You lose the mark. So if you don't have to do it, save your brain for something a bit more useful later on, okay? Or I should say, save your energy. So we can leave it as x plus 2 square. Last one, the b function was g of f of x. So I'm going to replace the x for g of x as f of x again. G of f of x is just g of x squared. G of x squared is x squared plus 2. So we started with g of x equal x plus 2, g of x squared plus 2. So our g of f of x is just x squared plus 2. Okay. And I'm going to stop recording now. And to do homework, you look at worksheet number 3, page 25. And that means you can practice all these examples that we've seen. Okay. And you can take a 10 minutes break. We should be back at 10:30.